Alright, we got a new book. My sister brought it to me. Doctor Who. This is the Essential Guide. The Essential Guide. Gonna be reading the first Doctor. An adventure in time and space. First ever episode of Doctor Who was broadcasted by the BBC at 5:15 p.m. on Saturday, 23rd November 1963. A television legend was born. Now, 50 years later, we can look back and see an unrivaled success that the original producers of the program, couple who watched it, could never have imagined. The first mass television audience was for the 1953 coronation of Queen Elizabeth II. The second. Only 10 years before, the idea that any TV series could last for 50 years was simply unthinkable. But Doctor Who has always done the unthinkable. The impossible. Things that no one else has ever dreamed of. There is nothing else like it on television. There never has been, and there never will be, like the Doctor himself. The series is unique. No single book can ever give the full story of Doctor Who. Never mind the thousands of other stories about Doctor in comics, novels, short stories, and audio visual. And the journey through eternity. How it all began. It's a picture. No one person, how it all began, no one person created Doctor Who. The concept grew out of the work of many people and the study by the BBC of science fiction, how it can work on television. At the same time, they were looking for programs that would appeal to children as well as adults on a Saturday afternoon. The most important people involved out of many were Sidney Newman, who was the BBC's new head of drama, Verity Lambert, who was appointed as the producer of Doctor Who, writer Cecil E. Weber, who developed the early concepts of the characters, and Anthony Corbin, who built on the work whenever he wrote the first episode. Of course, the contribution of the initial cast, especially William Hartnell as the first Doctor, was so vital to the show's success. Almost as soon as it started, Doctor Who changed. In his second story, the Doctor met the dialects. Nothing would ever be the same again. Originally, Doctor Who was intended to alternate between science fiction and historical drama. As soon as dialects appeared, they created by writer Terry Nation. And designed by Raymond P. Husat. From Nation's description, history was destined to take second place to The Monsters by Raymond when William Hartnell left the lead role in '66. It could all have ended, but the production team came up with the idea of regeneration, though they did not call it that. At the time, Doctor became a new man played by a new actor. That this was a narrative device that ensured the program could run for all time. The new actor, this was his narrative device that ensured could run for all the time. And sadly, though it didn't in 1989, BBC executives decided to give the Doctor a rest. It was that lasted apart for a brief return for the Eighth Doctor in 1996 up until 2005. It is easier to attribute the success of the current series to one person writer, Russell T. Davies, a lifelong fan of Doctor Who, brought the series back bigger, bolder. He reinvented the program for the program for the 21st century and established a style, format, quality that has enabled the current lead writer, Stephen Moffat, to ensure that Who remains one of the most respected and successful television drama in the world. That was the intro to Doctor Who. Next week I'll be doing the first Doctor, William Hartnell.